Okay, right, yes, so
Just hit it.
I won't cheat, I'll start and just use for 5 minutes, okay. Right, so yeah, food. I guess, yeah, okay, well, no robots here. So everybody needs food. At the moment we've got this huge sort of city-countryside divide with the idea that food is just something we bring in, but we can't go on like that because we're bringing it in with oil, the blast shocks and nitrogen cycle. 3¼ tons of oil, 1 ton of nitrogen fertilizer, using the Harbour process for everyone to study chemistry at school, and we're running out of oil. Now, Shanghai, city of 15 million people, more than half the food grown within the city and its immediately outlying area was moving towards more intensive agriculture. This is an organic sort of local production there. But we're all having to think about this as we move towards peak oil. Cuba had to do this 20 years earlier when the Soviet Union stopped sending them subsidised oil. And as a result, it's grown nearly all of the food within the cities. We've not had peak oil yet in Liverpool, but 25 years ago, the council budget ran out and they couldn't afford pesticides and weed killers anymore. And I watched the workmen walking up Cannon Street, standing on the Caminal gazes that were coming up through the bathing slabs. Also coming up through there was feverfew. We get lots of food, lots of nature just wanting to come and grow up in the cities. There's all sorts of food already here before we do anything about it. There's Letopurus sulphuricus, I think. It's a fungi I found growing on a dead tree in the park at the other end of Edgeworth Road. Really nice, very tasty, but make sure you know what you're doing before you pick them. Talking of parks, I mean, this is a pear orchard, but there's no reason why, you know, it's very ornamental, why our parks can't be laid out. It's one of the places we can start bringing food in, and if we can do it, we don't have to do the dig for victory thing of ugly looking allotments in the park. I mean, this huge ornamental thistle here is an artichoke. It's a luxury food. Sainsbury's charge a quid for each flower bud. And we're talking about changing park trees and street trees. It's not just fruit. Birch trees, you can tap the sap and make a gorgeous dry white wine out of them. You can use the bark to make a material for clothing. Leaves are a resource. But you know, it's not just parks and street trees. Here in Chicago, a plot of vacant land, a group of people grabbed hold of it while the city was arguing about what to do with it and just started growing food on it. Over the Pennines in Yorkshire, in Tottenham, they watched the politicians waffling it to Copenhagen and said, well, let's just get on with it ourselves. Imagine a post-carbon future and live in it. And they've taken over bus shelters and schools. We're back in Shanghai here. You'll note in Chicago there was fencing around everything. Here in the middle of the city, food crops just growing, readily available. You know, the community can be involved, just like on this London cancer estate, I think in Bermondsey. So if you get the children involved, making scarecrows, planting and so on, it's owned by the community and it's not subject to the sort of vandalism you get with street trees. But away from big public spaces, there's 20 million gardens, 18 million lawns in the UK. All the wild plants that people work so hard to eradicate, most of them are food plants, so you can just let them grow up for a few days. Things like ponds are hugely neglected, but if you haven't got a pond to put watercress and other plants in, you can squeeze one in anywhere. This high-rise pond fits 2 layers of plants and 1 of fish, and the fish water is circulated around to feed the plants and clean out the water. Obviously ornamental borders, that's a daylily, edible buds, edible flowers, edible bulbs, very important plants to native North Americans. But you don't have to be tidy and neat, you can just use scrap tyres and I'm not sure where this house is, but that looks like my old yard. It's not. I'm not good. I didn't have the bicycle wheels, which are an excellent idea for keeping cats out. Even your windowsills, indoor, outdoor windowsills. I've grown really crop of carrots on an outdoor windowsill, and if you mix a seed with larkspur and other small flowers. It keeps off the carrot root fly and so on. Anyway, there's some links. If you go to goodganews.org and scroll back to the links from the talk I did at Southport Flash, there's some resources on this as well. Right, thank you.